My name's Tom Alsop, and today I want to talk about the importance of using your wrist when you're hitting a two-handed backhand. Now, as you can see, I'm not really able to use my right wrist. Just had surgery on it, but it's been kind of knackered for a while. And it's affected my ability to hit a great two-handed backhand. At least that's my excuse anyway. When it comes to a forehand, a serve, a slice, a volley, we honestly really don't need to use our wrist that much. And I would say it's actually improved my technique, taking some of the wrist out of it. I don't actually use my wrist, and I certainly can't do this movement. I've never really been able to do this movement. So performing forehands, serves, my slice backhand, my volley, it's actually allowed me to move my body and my arm and do everything else in a technically sound way to compensate for the fact that I can't just move my wrist. And as I said, I think it's actually cleaned up my technique. However, with the two-handed backhand, not being able to use that right wrist, I think really hurts my ability to hit a great two-handed backhand. So we're going to talk about the role of the wrist, and hopefully this can help you to use your wrist a little bit more on your two-handed backhand, generate a little bit more racket speed, and just hit a better shot. All right, so let's take a look at this backhand. Someone I've been working with for quite a while, and he has an incredible backhand, as you can see. A lot of racket speed, a lot of power. Now, obviously, he's generating power through pretty much all of his body. Everything's sort of contributing to him ripping that thing. But one thing I want you to focus on today is that right wrist. So look how he's able to drop the racket head by using that right wrist here. And then what I also like is you see how it's coming back to a neutral position. So he's not actually hitting with that wrist in what I'd consider to be a vulnerable position. Very stable at contact. But that wrist has allowed him to generate a lot of racket speed. All right, so let's take a look at my backhand. And as you can see, it is not as good for many reasons. But again, let's focus on the wrist. And you'll see that in this position, this is I guess, okay position. But watch throughout the swing how I'm unable to use that right wrist. Now, I could get the racket beneath the ball. I could do that just by bending my legs and just getting it lower. So I could hit topspin, even though I think what Nitsan is doing is going to give him an ability to really put spin on that ball. I think I'm still able to do that just by getting beneath it and brushing. But I can't get the racket speed because the racket, the tip of the racket, the handle, my hands all seem to move as sort of one piece. So quite often I'll get side spin and everything will just be a bit locked. So if you're able to use those wrists, you can start to really accelerate the racket head and start to whip it into contact and through that strike. Don't copy me. Copy Nitsan. Rubbish.